Hello, this is Group 13 for CSE 434. Uh, I'm Diego de Guzman and my partner Rinson Joseph. We'll be going over the the requirements for the final submission. We'll start out by setting up the manager on port 7500 as shown right there, and we can see that it's listening. And then we'll set up the disks. Uh, that's basically compiling our disk, our Python disk, and then that's the IP address of the manager, and then that's the port number of the manager, and then the following two are the ports that can be used by the disk, and then we'll do the same for 2 through 6, disks 2 through 6. As you can see, all of them point to the manager disk. I mean, just the manager. And we register all the disks. Now we'll set up the users. This is doing a very similar thing. It's named U1 as user one, and then it's again the port number and IP address of the manager, and then the ports that it'll be using. And then we register the user. We'll do the same for user two.
Okay.
Now,
Perfect. Hmm.
now after this, what we are going to do is select our first user, and we will configure the DSS, our DSS1. Size 3. And then after that, we're going to copy the three text files, dayofaffirmation.txt. So that's the first one. And then we're also going to copy inflanders.txt and also taleoftwocities.txt after we finish the copy complete. Now after this, we're going to list them. So do ls. And as you can see, we can see all three of them with their byte numbers. And then now um, we will read the day of affirmation.txt. Uh, you forgot that, yeah. Now we will be moving on to the next user. This is you for now, Rinson.
Okay. So for the next user here, we will configure DSS2, which is our second storage system here. So we'll run the command configure DSS, label DSS2 with size 3. So configure DSS, DSS2, size 3. Perfect. So it says DSS has been configured with 3 disks. And then moving on from there, we want on this one to copy a Wizard of Oz, this text file. So we run the command copy Wizard of Oz.txt along with its size. So it'd be 364, 532, and then assign it to user 2. Perfect. And we'll run copy complete on that. That completes that copy process. And it was recorded. And then we will go ahead and list those. And again, those have been listed here according to their DSSs. Then moving on from there, we're going to read DSS from DSS1 the in Flanders text from user 2. So we're going to try to see if user 2 can read DSS1's in Flanders text. And we'll see the output there. So we're going to run the command read DSS1 in Flanders.txt. And then we'll see what this
You
outputs.
forgot the T.
Oh, yes, you're right. Uh, see. Yes, as you can see, even though I forgot the T, it says file not found in this particular case, because this particular naming does not exist. But we'll see what happens when we run the correct file name. Perfect. And then this one you'll see, since user 2 is not assigned that in Flanders.txt file, it is not the owner. So that is the response message there. And from there, since that was a failure message, we'll move on to try out the disk failure command on DSS1. So we'll move back to user 1 here, and we'll initiate that disk failure command, which is supposed to trigger a failure in the storage system. We'll run it on DSS1. And as you can see, it is a success in this particular case because no processes are running currently, so we can trigger that disk failure. And then, of course, we want to also test the recovery command as well, recovery complete, which inverts or reverses that failure that we simulated. Oh, forgot to add the DSS1 label as well, so it knows which one I'm specifying. There we go, and that succeeded there. Now from there, we want to also check if we can read DSS from DSS1 a text file after recovery to see if the failure got recovered from. So we'll do read DSS1, and we'll try to read the day of affirmation text as we did before. Day of affirmation.txt. Perfect, and that is a success. That indicates that the recovery was a success as well. And then we'll complete that to finish off that process. DSS1, day of affirmation.txt. Perfect, and that is a success as well. So that completes the read process there. Or the read operation. And then finally, we want to now decommission each of the DSSs before we deregister the users and the disks after. Because if you do it beforehand, you can do it with the users, but for disks, you are not allowed to deregister them until you decommission the DSS that it belongs to. So we'll run the decommission command here on the DSS1 first. So decommission dash DSS, and then we'll specify the DSS that we want. And now it is DSS1, and that succeeded there. And then we will also complete that process because it is a two-stage command here. So we'll do decommission dash DSS dash complete on DSS1. That completes that command. And then we'll do the same thing for DSS2 here as well. Decommission dash DSS. Specify the DSS there. And then decommission complete that as well. Perfect, and that succeeded as well. From there, we'll now deregister each of the users involved. So go to user 1 and go ahead and deregister it. Since we already have all the parameters laid out, we don't need to write out the parameters here. So we'll just deregister the user. That was a success there. Same thing with user 2. Deregister the user here. Perfect. And now for each of the disks, we'll one by one go ahead and deregister the disks as well. Perfect. And it succeeded simply because the DSS was decommissioned. Okay, and then after this deregister operation is done, the final part of the demo here is to cancel the manager listening in on the port. In order to do that, we'll just run our Control C command to interrupt the operation listening in there. And yeah, that should complete the demo since every entity involved has been deregistered or cut off or terminated here. So thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.